and today we will talk together about the 5 key elements of implementing a chatbot at the enterprises. So let's get started. So we will start from the king. The king is the data. The data is everything for your chatbot. As Google said, the data is the king. As Forbes said, the data is the new oil. So all of us understand that the data is the key point when you try to design a chatbot for enterprise. But why is the data so important? It's so important because bot without the data is a stupid bot, is a useless. So you have to bring the data into your bot project. But in the enterprise, is a really challenge. Why it's challenge? Because according Gartner, in average enterprise have more 150 different data source and API. We call it the API jungle. You have data source like CRM, you have data source from the cloud, you have data source unstructured data, and structured data, and etc. and etc. And all this mess, it's really a big problem because you can't scale a bot, you can't scale enterprise bot with this mess. So what is the solution? The solution is a API management layer. There is a really nice open source solution for the API management layer. There is also commercial solutions, and maybe the most famous one is the Open Banking API, which takes all the bank complexity and try to bring it in a one layer of API. So in terms of data and integration, you have to achieve this layer, and our recommendation is to start work with API management from day one when you design a bot for enterprises. Once you understand the importance of the data for our bot, the hardest part became. What is the hardest part? Is the security and the infrastructure. When you go to the security department, you always say no. First of all, you say no, there is a privacy concern, it's unsecure, and etc. and etc. And when you design a bot for enterprise, the deployment is one of the key in terms of security. So you have to be sure that you choose provide or choose solution which is support on the 3 different deployments. The most popular deployment is the cloud, which is low cost, quick implementation, very popular today. But in the other end, there is concern of integration complexity and privacy. The middle solution is the hybrid. The hybrid means that the data is still sitting under the control of the organization, and all the UI elements and all the logic parts is sitting in the cloud. And the third option, which is the most popular at enterprises, is the on-prem one. The on-premise means the best security, the integration availability. Why? Because your chatbot solution sitting next to the data under the supervision of the security department, under all the security layers. So our next station is the experience and engagement. Our recommendation is, of course, to try to publish your bot to all the digital channel. Try to publish it to desktop, to mobile, to social networks. Try to bring as much traffic as you can. The next things, and this is important things because in terms of user experience, you have to take the limitation of conversational UI and try to create UI elements, custom UI elements. What I mean by custom UI elements, let's say, do you want to collect signature from your customer? So one click, I can sign inside the bot, confirm the signature, and bam, that's it. So UI elements, it's key part. Let's see the example of location. So where we are now, we are at Berlin, send my location, and that's it. So there is many different custom UI elements, from pickers, sliders, date pickers, use them. This is a very strong tool to bring better experience, better UI and user experience. Next things, the fourth things that we think is the most important is the self-service. The self-service is the secret but killer feature. Why? Because it takes the bottleneck from the IT, which is suffered, and bring the ownership of the chatbot to the product, to the business. So how it's look like? Let's see a real example. When we built yesterday this lecture, we built it based on our platform. This is the CMS of the chatbot. I can change my picture, I can change content, I can add different plugins, let's say payment plugins, let's say signature plugins, and many more. I can control all the setting of the bot. So if I want to change icons, if I want to change permission, who can manage the content, timeouts, persistent menu, if you want to promote something, and also the integration for Facebook, integration for webs, for mobile SDK. We have control on the analytics, all the event management. I can build a custom report. I can create custom analytics. I can try to understand what happened in my NLP model, in my Q&A model. So it's bring the power, the ownership to the product and the business, and it's a very important point. Next things is the insights. At the enterprise, there is a huge meaning for insights. Why? Because KPIs is one of the most important things. KPIs and ROIs. It's the meaning of the bot. We all talk about automation today. We all talk about the benefits of the bots, and we want KPIs. So you have to ensure that you have the right insight. You have the ability to create custom reports, and also you have to be sure that you have the ability to connect the bot into your existing BI center, into existing BI hubs. Let's say you have Tableau, Power BI, Pyramid. It doesn't matter which solution you have. In each enterprise, it's important to get it in a unified place. So if you will connect the bot, because in the end it's just another digital channel, into the BI system, it will benefit a lot your project. So it was short and quick. If you have question about the 5 key elements, if you have question about our platform, how we can do that, thank you very much.